the team, call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Friday, November 21st. It's F1 weekend here in Las Vegas. Practice last night. Saw those manhole covers not staying on, but going to get through it here this weekend in Las Vegas as Formula One comes to town here this weekend, and got the action already rolling here in Las Vegas for a big weekend. And we also got UFC from the other side of the world here in less than, a little more than 24 hours. It might preempt the show tomorrow, quite frankly, but it'll just be we'll be in the UFC. I mean, we'll be in the stream with the guys on Saturday. I'm going to be there, miss a little bit of time in there, but we'll be there for the card with the guys tomorrow from Doha, Qatar. And tonight in the LFA, it'll be Sports Money's own Kevin Carrier, fighter in the ring tonight, going off as an underdog here tonight in the in his LFA bout. He's about plus 250 if you want to take a shot on our guy here. He's up against a guy that's ranked a little bit ahead of him, no doubt, on this card. But actually been taking the action is Kelton Sneeve out of Canada. He opened about 220, 225 or so, and has been bet up to about a $2.90 or $3 favorite over Carrier, and that one gets off tonight at 9:40 Eastern, 6:40 Pacific. We won't have any coverage here of it, but just want to let everybody know about the fight tonight with the Carrier, the man who wears the Sports Money logo on his trunks and in his corner, is in action here tonight. So that's a little fun note there. And what about last night? Did we have a good time with razor sharp picks in conjunction with the Sports Money Network with Thursday night football between the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans? It was the Texans, the defense, that did it to Josh Allen with 8 sacks, 3 takeaways to get the win. Houston has won 5 of 6. They're 6-5 overall. Buffalo loses to fall to 7-4, but have 2 losses in 3 weeks, and a bit of a surprise, but we did have the Houston Texans here on the morning steam yesterday for sure, plus those points, right? Bills had the ball on the Houston 22-yard line on that last drive, but could not score as kept getting sacked there. Allen kept going down against this Houston defense. The Texans were outgained by 65 yards and were plus 3 in turnovers, however. And, to be fair, Buffalo did have that long kickoff return for a touchdown, too, that aided their cause. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been. They would have only had 12 points in the game or so there. So Houston's 6-2 in their last 8 games also after that 0-3 start. Buffalo only scored 1 offensive TD on their 10 drives. They also had 2 field goals as they led 16-13 after that 97-yard kickoff return. But the Bills have found Houston to be a bit of a house of horrors, 0-6 straight up and 1-5 ATS in their last 6 visits to Houston. So the Texans get a key win there to help their chances, boosted it up close to 50% now to make the playoffs. And for the Bills, they're still about 85% to make the playoffs with that record. But just seems like the AFC doesn't really have, uh, the teams that can get over the hump against maybe those NFC teams, whichever represents in the Super Bowl, because you have uh, the teams that are kind of doing well have inexperienced quarterbacks. Meanwhile, the ones with, the all-star quarterbacks with, for example, Jackson, right, with Allen as well, and uh, you look at uh, comparatively to Daniel Jones or to Bo Nix, right? Yeah, it's one of lesser evils here a little bit. You could also take a look at Patty Mahomes, right? These guys are the teams that are trailing with the superstar quarterbacks. Meanwhile, the teams that are kind of in the playoff bubble are the teams that could they really beat those three juggernauts? I don't even know how deep you want to go in the NFC. It feels like the top 3 or 4 teams in the NFC are all better than whichever the AFC entry will be. When you're talking about, of course, the Eagles in there, the Eagles, the Packers, the Rams, the Lions. Who else are you going to put in there? They all seem like they're a little bit better, maybe, than the AFC entry, whoever that might be. So it'll shake down. We'll see. I'm sure that some of those teams will come back out of the group of quarterbacks, the superstar quarterbacks. These guys might make the playoffs still. Kansas City could still make it, right? They're 500 team here. So we'll see. But right now, it does feel like the NFC teams have the upper hand, doesn't it? All right, some college football last night as well, as UL Lafayette got the win. There is a 2.5-point underdog. They won it on the road, 34-30. That was pretty impressive for Louisiana. They beat Arkansas State. The Ragin' Cajuns stopped Arkansas State on the 1-yard line on the last play of the game. Louisiana did rush for over 200 yards in the game on 46 carries. But ULL had 11 penalties. That didn't bother them. They were still able to get it done. And both teams are nearing bowl eligibility there with 5 wins there. And that upset there with Louisiana beating Arkansas, the Fun Belt game on Thursday night. Also, some of the college basketball turned out pretty exciting. And late night, it was Cal Poly with an upset over Utah, 92-85. We saw Matty Ice come on and join us. He said, go under on Utah's points. I was like, that sounds pretty good, right? But man, if they go under, how much are they going to really beat Cal Poly by? They were 14-point favorites. Well, you know what? Utah did go under, but Cal Poly went over 92-85. So Matty Ice got his win, but Cal Poly got the upset win there in a fast-paced game for sure. I remember just a couple of years ago, Cal Poly was one of the worst or slowest teams in the country. Now they're playing at a near top 10 pace. And in fact, in the beginning of the month here, I think they're actually number 2 or 3 here. So Cal Poly completely revolutionized here a little bit. They're 3-3. They don't even play a home game until December 6th. Man, some steam's rolling in here right now. Kansas State, we heard Razor with the pick there on Kansas State last night. They beat Mississippi State 98-77 as the Wildcats were near 50% from beyond the arc. And Kansas State, you talk about these teams with some good resumes. Kansas State's one of them. They're 5-0 with top 100 wins over Mississippi State and Cal. That's how you kind of measure these teams early on. That's why Arizona looks so strong. Central Florida beat Pittsburgh 77-67 there last night. And the Knights are 5-1 with top 100 wins over Pitt and Texas A&M. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh's 0-2 versus teams ranked in the top 150. Out at the Bahamar, it was Purdue outlasting Memphis. It was close most of the game. Purdue pulled away. They moved into the championship game as they shot 54% and had 1.18 points per possession in that one. And they'll play Texas Tech tonight. We'll preview the 2 championship games in the tournament action. Texas Tech edged Wake Forest 84-83. Wake Forest loses another close game to a good team. Wake led by 7 with 13 minutes left. But Tech is 4-1, and their loss was to Illinois. So, man, there's some steam rolling in. I think we should talk about it right now and get a move on in some of this college basketball steam here. There are a lot of games. We're going to get a lot of interruptions here doing the show. Hello to everybody in the chat. Here's Presbyterian and UCLA. Steam to the over gets us started here with Presby and UCLA. It's pretty much the last game on the card. It was 128, and it moves up here to 129.5 and even higher, actually. Who am I kidding? This one's up over the 130 mark here tonight with Presbyterian and UCLA. It's up to 132. So was as low as 128.5 on some openers. Now 132, steam to the over, Presbyterian and UCLA. Moments before that, it was Southern and San Jose State. Right above it. I guess the sharp guy is just going down the list here. Under in this one at 151.5. It's down here to 148.5 right now with Southern and San Jose State. Major 3-point move to the under in that one. Also, another one here with USC Upstate and West Georgia. Steam to the under here in this one. It was 155, and we're seeing this one get steamed here right behind. I got another one here coming in fresh here, but Upstate and West Georgia. We're seeing this one get steamed here to the under, down here to 152. 3-point move to the under right there. Seconds ago, it was Seattle U and Stanford. Steam to the over here in this one with Seattle U and Stanford. It was 148, but here comes the steam. And this one moves to 150.5. Seattle U and Stanford, 2.5-point move to the over. Just moments ago, it was Old Dominion taking the steam on the added board in their matchup today here with Morgan State. Old Dominion was a 13-point favorite, took that steam right here against Morgan State just a short few moments ago, and right now it is up here to 14.5 here with Morgan State and Old Dominion. Old Dominion taking the steam up 1.5 there against Morgan State. A few moments ago before that, it was Grand Canyon taking the steam in their matchup against Northwestern State. Grand Canyon opened up around a 17-point favorite here, but right now it is Grand Canyon moving higher here. Grand Canyon is up to an 18.5-point favorite, about a 1.5 move there on Grand Canyon. 2 moves just seconds ago. New Orleans and Fresno State. This added steam continues to be hot. Steam to the under here with New Orleans and Fresno State. It was 155, and we're seeing it on the move here right now between New Orleans and Fresno State. It's all the way down to 152 at circa. That's a 3-point move here with New Orleans and Fresno State. Just a split second before that, NC Wilmington and Radford. Steam to the over here in this one. It was 148.5. Steam to the over here with NC Wilmington and Radford. It is up here right now to 151 between NC Wilmington and Radford. That's a 3.5-point move. Seconds ago, Cal Riverside and San Diego. Steam to the under here in this one with the Toreros at home. It was 153, but right now this one is on the move. You can maybe still get in on this one with Riverside and San Diego. Steam to the under here at 1 It was 153, but right now we're seeing this one on the move here and currently at 151 with Riverside and San Diego down 2 points. Seconds ago, it was Kansas State and Nebraska in that tournament game at the Hall of Fame Classic. This one is going to be in the previews, and this was my move here, so I got to get this one out. Steam to the under here. Man, this one was as high. I got to tell it right now. I got to tell it like it is. I was going to go with the under in this game, K-State and Nebraska. It was as high as 175, and this one's getting steamed here big time right now. In fact, it is down here now to 170, 169 and a half. This is a 5.5 point move from the opener. Now, some books may have opened it a little bit later and a little bit lower, maybe 172, 171 and a half. So it could be a lesser move, but it certainly was as high as 175. Seconds ago, more steam. UL Lafayette and Santa Clara. Just moments ago. Also, I'll get right back to it. Here's SMU taking the steam right now. SMU against Arkansas State. SMU was a 16-point favorite, but right now they're taking the steam. I can't make this thing stop. It's up here to 18. All the moves are coming in right now. SMU is on the move right this second against Arkansas State. Also, seconds ago, we mentioned it. UL Lafayette and Santa Clara at Santa Clara. It was 140 and a half. Steam has come in here right now, and we're seeing this one go lower with UL Lafayette and Santa Clara. It's down to 139 here already, a 1.5 move. That one just moments ago here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, gang, there it is. Take a break, take a breather. And I want to see who's here and who's in the chat and who's ready to go today here on the Morning Steam Show. Let's see who's here. Hi, everybody. What a way to start. Cash Kane is here today. Here's Action Jackson in the chat, is ready for that NBA Cup. Robert McCormick is here as well. He's ready to go today. Jordy, ready for this Friday. Blake is here. Parma Jake is there as well. And Greg Gibson's here. The Buffalo Bills are overrated, or is that the Buffalo Bulls there? Good morning to Tariq. He said, well, no, that can't be right. Are you kidding me? Is that breaking news right there? What an acquisition this would be. Man, this would be breaking news here. Man, I love me some. Look, I've always been a ball favorite, but man, I didn't hear that. That would be a big time, but I heard they were not looking to trade him. Man, let me look this up here real quick. I mean, I know that they've been hot on it, but wow, can't wait to see that move come in. Bringing LaMelo, that would make the Warriors that much more dynamic. Man. All right, let's hope that I'm going to root for that one. Let's see if that can happen. All right, Stop Geo's here. Greg is here, ready for some UCF. He told us about Colorado. Cliff Floyd here. Hello, nice to see you. Jim Duweiger. Hey, everyone, like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Terrell is here. Guys, I think we were talking about last night. It might take some extra work, but I think if you go back into there's a into the YouTube studio. Everyone should have one, and you can go back and maybe change your names back to what you want them or would like them to be. This is just something that has been kind of implemented here by YouTube recently, and everyone's names have kind of gotten back like some kind of one of those names that kind of gets made up sometimes when you sign up. It's something that YouTube is doing. I don't know what the entire reasoning was behind it. I was trying to look at it, but we were talking about it last night. So say hello to a few more, but I'm going to get going with some more steam here real quick. East Carolina taking some steam here right now. This is on the added board. They're up against Charleston Southern today, and East Carolina here is taking some steam at 9.5 in the game against Charleston Southern. Let's see here, and that one right now is at 10.5. So it opened 9.5 or so, maybe open 9 up to 10.5 here with East Carolina just moments ago. Man, we're having some fun here on the Morning Steam Show here on this Friday, aren't we? All right, let's continue on saying hello, and then we get to the show. It's not a totally jam-packed show. Yeah, we got NBA, we got college, we got the 2 college football games as well. We got 4 on the ice we're going to go over as well here. So we got a good show ready to go here, but let's just get the salutations out of the way. And Terrell loving those primetime unders. Hey, I was on the under as well there on the show. Brought home some props there as well yesterday on that show with Marks over 80.5 rushing and receiving. There we had Gabe Davis over 2.5 receptions. We ramped up there Johnson there with his receptions over 1.5 at plus money. Kirk over 1.5 there yesterday. Had a few losers in there. Nico didn't get it done. I don't think Nico got over 5.5. Steam coming in here right now with Nebraska, Omaha, and LSU. Steam here to the over with Omaha and LSU. It was 164, but we're seeing that steam come in right now, and it's up to 167. Wow, 3-point move right there, right now, Omaha and LSU. Also, Siena is getting steamed on the added board here, on the extra board. And Siena was a 10-point favorite against Albany, but we're seeing Siena get steamed here right now, and this one is up to 12 or higher. Siena, 2-point move here on Siena right here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, man. See who else is hanging out, ready to go with us. Let's see, Robert says that, oh, man, how about, didn't even mention the game of the night between the Trojans and the Trojans, and it went to a crazy overtime finish there last night. Really got a little wild, double, triple, double overtime, triple over. How many overtimes was it there? But it was a wild one between USC and Troy. It was 107, 106. Triple overtime. Yeah, that was an amazing game. Really a heartbreaking finish for Troy. They led by 6 in the third overtime. Troy's been on the West Coast here playing 4 different teams in Southern California, and the game ended basically after, in the East Coast, it would have been past 1 a.m. It was past 10 p.m. here when I was watching that one. And Troy, man, look, they played LMU, they played Northridge, they played San Diego State. That went 2 overtimes. They played 5 overtime periods in their last 2 games on a 4-game West Coast swing. Cal Baptist getting steam right now in their game against Grambling, and Cal Baptist is taking the steam here right now, and they are up to minus 13.5. And they were 12 up to 13.5. Steam just came in here on Cal Baptist here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, a few more saying hi here. See, I know this is someone that we're familiar with, I think, but I just, the name BJ Anderson. Help me out if the regulars here can get to the names here a little bit, but Barr's got his name all right in there. Just want to say that. We Do's here today. Hello. And Greg said, how's that steam? It's too much steam. And Nuke is there in the chat. And Jerry Jones, good morning. Hello. The dogs are ready to bark. And they're talking NBA here already. Boston, Cleveland, Houston, Toronto, and Warriors. Pacers might beat the Cavs. I'm all caught up with you guys. So, hey, everyone, you get more picks from me every day over at winnable.com/Ramon. I don't think my college games are too great, though, last night, so stick with me here. But I'm going to have a big college card for you today over at winnable.com/Ramon. It's these days where maybe you could just use a few extra plays or suggestions, and I have a bunch of them for you in college basketball. That's pretty much what I'm rolling with exclusively right now. Hey, I'm all over these channels talking basketball, NBA, NHL, but college basketball is my favorite, and I'll have plenty of plays this weekend over at winnable.com. I'll have my UFC up there as well. We brought home some winners. We did bring home a few winners there last night, I think, with the action there last night. But I'll have more winners today over there at winnable.com/Ramon. It was probably my worst day of the season, full disclosure on that one. All right. And use that promo code STEAM. That will save 20%. Comes out to about 40 cents a day when you use that promo code STEAM and sign up for 1 month at $19.95. And make sure you throw in that promo code. And then I throw in an extra week if you get 1 month. So basically comes out to about 40 cents a day. Keeps me coming back here on the channel. All right. Let's get ready and get rolling here right now. Lovable's here so we can start the show. And we're going to start it with college football here tonight with the Florida State Seminoles taking on NC State in ACC action here tonight. Look, Florida State on the road. They've lost 9 straight road games, have the Seminoles. What makes you think they're going to turn it around right now? Now, granted, NC State's got a really bad defense, but they do have quite a bit of offense. So what could happen here with Florida State? They're all favored on the road here all of a sudden. They do have the more talented team, it certainly feels like here, but I don't know if they're overwhelming enough here to kind of storm their way to the win. They're just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games overall, talking about the Florida State Seminoles here. They've lost 5 of their last 7. They're only 4-14 against the spread their last 18 games against NC State. 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Speaking of Florida State, the steam's coming in on Florida State, but not in football. It's coming in right now in basketball here. Florida State in their matchup against Georgia Southern. They were is that a good transition? They were a 16-point favorite, and the steam's coming in right now on Florida State basketball. And right now, Florida State basketball is up to an 18-point favorite with some steam that just came in. We're talking Florida State football, though, here officially, and see what you guys have. But Florida State, they have won 2 of their last 3. To be fair here, they beat Virginia Tech, covered 14. They beat Wake, covered 12.5. They did lose to Clemson in Death Valley, 24-10. NC State, meanwhile, just got blasted by Miami on the road, got handled pretty good there. They did win at home against Georgia Tech, remember, and before that, they did lose to Pittsburgh and to Notre Dame. So they, little rough around the edges, to say the least. They've lost 5 of their last 7 and failed to cover in 5 of their last 7 overall. But like I said, Florida State, they're 0-3 against the spread on the road. They've lost 9 straight on the road, dating back to last season here. NC State is 1-4. ATS is an underdog, but they're 3-2 against the spread at home. Maybe that could be the answer here for NC State. And I'm going to try NC State in this one. plus the points. I think this one's not going to be very popular. I think Florida State's probably going to be the public side. We'll see what you guys have in the chat here right now, and I'm ready to go to it here with Florida State
Major
at
lineman.
home. I want to hear from you in the chat. Let's go and see what you have. Florida State here, number 10 in yards per play, number 9 in yards per game margin, number 14 in scoring margin. They're truly one of the better offenses, and they rank in the top 10, maybe top 7. And North Carolina State's defense is ranked 127th. So look, the stats say Florida State, but losing 9 straight games on the road, there were some tough games in there. Make no mistake. All right, here we go with some plays, I think, from you guys. There's Dave in the chat. Good morning, Dave. Love to hear from you on this one. Greg says he's got Florida State here by only 3, so I think he likes NC State and the under for sure. This total, you see it here at 50, huh? Okay, that's right on the total there then. It's not 50, right? It's 59. That's all. That's a typo. I was like, wait a minute. It's about 59 and a half. There we go. Yeah. Let's make sure we get that right. That's important. So, but important in the context that because of the, like I said, NC State's defense ranked 127th here right now. But again, Florida State, 9 straight losses on the road dating back to last year. That seems pretty severe. NC State, they're not dreadful. They come in here, 5-5 overall. They basically have the same record. Both teams are 5-5 coming in. Hey, New Mexico's taking some steam here against Samford. New Mexico State was a 7-point favorite. They're taking the steam here right now against Samford. The Aggies against the Bulldogs. And we're seeing New Mexico State up here right now, moving higher up to 8. 1-point move, maybe a little juice in there too. New Mexico State just took the steam. Okay, here we go. We're talking this one between Florida State and North Carolina State. Robert likes the under. Thank you. Yeah, there, I got it right. Florida State money line for Cash Kane. Lovable says it could go under even further. Terrell says NC State over. Good morning to Razor in the chat. He's up and ready to go. Barr says under, but I'll give him. He knows it's 59 now. I got it. We got it right. And let's see there. We do talking a little bit of I think probably Arizona State there. Lovable says that they're a FSU fan, but probably would take the NC State. Florida State does have that better offense for sure. They did lose to Stanford. Charlotte's taking some steam here right now in their game against Appalachian State. Charlotte was getting 2.5 from Appalachian State, but they're taking the steam here right now, and we're seeing it go here. Moving to the in favor of Charlotte here right now. Steam coming in. Charlotte right now is down to a plus 1.5. So 1-point move there on Charlotte. Okay, NC State keeps it close. Tariq says, Ronnie Wilson here in the chat. Is that someone familiar? I'm trying to see there. But Florida State to smash. Dave likes Florida State and under. And let's see here. That's it, maybe for this one. All right, I've called it for me. I'm taking NC State plus the points here. Let's go to the Mountain West. got one more college football game. It's right here in Las Vegas tonight with the Hawaii Rainbows taking on the UNLV Rebels here at Allegiant Stadium. Some steam coming in right now. It's on Davidson. Davidson in this tournament action here at the Charleston Classic in Charleston, and we're seeing the steam coming in right here on Davidson against BC. Davidson was getting 2 points. I think Davidson's a favorite now. Let's see. They were getting 2, and right now Davidson is a 1, maybe even a 1.5 point favorite, flip of the favorite here. Davidson against Boston College at that tournament action there at the Charleston Classic. Okay, here we go with Hawaii and UNLV action tonight here in Vegas. Let's hear what you have to say in this one. Hawaii's coming in off of a bye, and it's always troublesome for Hawaii coming to the mainland, but they've had a good season, 7-3 so far. The Rebels are 8-2. Rebels keep finding a way to get it done in some of these games, although their 2 losses were kind of iffy. In the teams they beat haven't really been that great, but they did just beat Colorado State 42-10. They crushed the Rams, and they beat Utah State. Did not cover in that thriller, 29-26. They lost and failed to New Mexico and Boise. They did beat Air Force at home. UNLV just 1-4 against the spread at home. Meanwhile, Hawaii is 5-2 against the spread as an underdog. There was some steam that, let's see, no, we got it. Sorry about that, gang. Okay, so UNLV is playing on a short week after going 2 overtimes, basically, against Utah State last week. So the Rebels should have lost that game, but Utah State missed 3 field goals and an extra point. So the Warriors have already had 4 upsets this season, winning as underdogs. They're 5-2, like I said, as a dog overall. Rebels, though, come in 7-1, straight up as a favorite. See what you guys have in this one between UNLV and Hawaii here in Vegas tonight. Can they cover? Could Hawaii cover? Here we go. Let's see what you got. It's going to be Hawaii money line and over for cash gain. Greg likes Hawaii here as well. Tariq's going over in this one tonight. Dave's going over as well. Greg says the wrong team's favored. He thinks Hawaii should be favored. And Cash Kane says, what about the injury report tonight? Are there anything of note here? Yeah, those are the most significant injury there for UNLV. They're definitely beat up here a little bit. Thomas is questionable. Also, Tayshawn Lyons, wide receiver, questionable here for Hawaii. A wide receiver, Nick Kanako, he is questionable. All right, we do. Going under in the first half. Bars on Hawaii. Greg says Hawaii's money. Johnny says Hawaii on the spread. Oh my gosh, man. So much Hawaii here. Wow. Everybody loves Hawaii. Oh my gosh. It's an avalanche of Hawaii. No one wants my Rebels here. There's a little Florida State. And I think We Do says go over here in this one. Man, can I really go with UNLV when the entire chat has gone with Hawaii here? I just am one that doesn't trust Hawaii on the mainland against good teams. Now, it could be argued that maybe UNLV is not a very good team. It's despite being 8-8. Again, they were rolling there for a while at 6-0, and then they lost to Boise. They got blown out at Boise, and then they came home and lost to New Mexico. Hawaii has, wins on the road, like we said, at Colorado State at Air Force, but they did lose to San Jose 45-38, kind of in a wild one. All right. There's okay. I got Justin there, so I can feel that he did take the money line though. Right. And Tariq's ready to just go to Hawaii. Greg says, "Don't bet with your heart." I'm not that big of a Rebels fan. I mean, it's easier to follow home teams though here, right? I'm taking UNLV. I mean, I'll come in here and praise the chat tomorrow, but I'm not saying I'm an auto fade of Hawaii on the mainland. I mean, they've obviously had some big wins here already. And of course, I mean, what do they, everyone knows that Las Vegas is Hawaii on the main, it's Hawaiians love Las Vegas. I mean, if you had to, I don't know, outside of California, I mean, where do most of the Vegas tourists just come from on a regular basis, right? It's pretty much Hawaii, despite all the different states tourists come from, especially now with gambling in every state. Hawaii doesn't have much gambling. We know that. I'm taking UNLV. All right, that's it. You guys have chimed in, though. Got to respect the chat here in this one. Okay, I'm sure we'll have more steam. Right, there it is. We'll have more steam here coming in. With Wisconsin taking the steam here right now, just moments ago. This game is in the preview. My pick is on the total here, but Wisconsin taking the steam right now against BYU. And we're seeing this one here move to Wisconsin plus 4.5. It was as high as, it opened as high as 5. But right now we're seeing it go lower here to 4.5. 5.5. Was 5.5 down to 4.5. Wisconsin taking that steam. Also, moments ago, Campbell against UT Arlington. This one's in Ogden, Utah. And Campbell just took the steam here. They were a 1.5 point dog. Now Campbell might be moving to a favorite. We're seeing Campbell here, a 1 point favorite at Circa. The favorite has shifted in Campbell and Arlington. Man, are we going to have a lot of steam coming in here. Let's get to the NBA and get rolling with the NBA Cup here tonight. That's part of the coverage. Don't forget, Ramon, to say who's in for each group of the NBA Cup. Make sure we say who is in what place. Pacers and Cavs will get us started here. Here we go. Let me get my graphics together here a little bit and get going. Oh, I can't because there's more steam. Northwestern is taking some steam right now in their game here against Virginia. Northwestern just took the steam at plus 4.5. This one's in the preview as well. It's being played in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. Northwestern is taking the steam. They were plus 4.5, and now they're down to 3. Steam on Northwestern here against Virginia. All right, I'm rolling here. NBA, though. No time to waste. With Indiana taking on Cleveland. And in this one, you've got Cleveland, of course, a big favorite here in NBA Cup action for Cleveland. They are in Group A. They are 1-1 currently, 1 game behind Toronto. Indiana, meanwhile, is 0-1. Indiana, though, does come in off of a win here over Charlotte, 127-118. Meanwhile, Cleveland here is off of a loss, 114-110 against Houston, snapping their 2-game winning streak right now. And you got Cleveland here, man, double digits at this point. Of course, up to 14 and 240.
Major line move.
These totals are pretty big here on NBA Cup night here on Friday. Some steam coming in right now on Air Force. Air Force is taking the steam against Edwardsville. Air Force was getting 3 points, but the steam came in right now, and we're seeing this one bet down to 1.5 or so. The steam's coming in right this second on Air Force against Edwardsville. Okay, Cleveland here, they are 10-6, but they're a dismal 5-11 against the spread. They actually have not been very good against the spread. 4-10 against the spread is a favorite, but Indiana, they're 2-6 against the spread on the road. They're just 2-13 overall. I mean, we know how bad of a start to the season it's been here. They've failed to cover in 7 of their last 8 overall. They've lost all 8 road games so far, going 2-6 against the spread. It's just been a disaster for Indiana. Cavs aren't great either, but at least they're winning their games. The Pacers are 5-1 against the spread versus Cleveland in the last 6 games. But we've just seen, this Indiana team just so beat up here right now. But that is a pretty big move up to 14. I mean, this one opened, I believe, as low as maybe 13 at some places here. So it feels like it's kind of getting even a little bit out of control here, even for the Pacers. We start to see some of these big double-digit favorites not be able to get in there all the way. With some of these big 2 touchdown numbers. South Alabama is taking some steam here right now in their matchup with UAB. South Alabama was getting 7.5, but the steam is coming in right now on South Alabama against UAB. And South Alabama has moved here right now to 6.5. 1 point move there with South Alabama. All right. And let's see how you're going to do it here. I'm going to go to the chat and see what you have in Indiana and Cleveland. Indiana, like I said, it's a good spot for them. They've done well against Cleveland in the past, but are they just too overwhelmed personnel-wise here at this point to be able to stay within 14 points? Let's hear from you in the chat with... I think Greg's got us first here. He likes it by 15 there and a little bit of over. Barr likes the over. Johnny likes Indiana. Tariq says Cavs team total over. Greg, there he says it right there, a little bit of over. Cleveland by 20 plus, says Terrell. Says they got that win, a little bit of a breather there for Indiana, breaking that losing streak. They beat, a Charlotte team at home. Pacers team total under here for Fernando. And Grace says, don't be fooled by the Charlotte win. Cleveland will demolish. I don't think anybody's fooled by it. Cavaliers over here. Lovable says Cleveland rocks. Rich says Cleveland. Jordy says Cleveland money line, and Mitchell 30 points, and Indiana too many points. Ronnie Wilson, too many points. He says, I'm with Ronnie. I'm going to actually take. I'm actually going to take the Pacers. I see everybody's on Cleveland here, but I'm going to take the Pacers here in this one. The number just came too high for me, even in this situation. Now, I will acknowledge that in the NBA Cup, the third tiebreaker is points. There's point differential and then points scored. So could see some, running up of the score a little bit in some games, especially the blowouts. So that is something to consider here tonight. But I'm going to take Indiana to hang in there here against Cleveland. Pretty much against the chat, though, it feels like there. Next up. This one's just like the other one. You got another crummy road team here. Washington 1-13 going up against Toronto. Toronto comes in hot. They're 10-5. Toronto 2-0, atop Group A Washington is 0-1. They are got to win it. Got to win it here. Toronto, though, on a big losing winning streak right now. Toronto's hot, and Washington is not. Toronto's won 5 straight. Washington's lost 10 in a row. Is it right now? Washington also just 1-7, and they're 1-6 ATS. Their last 7 against Toronto coming in. Toronto's covered 8 of their last 10 right now as part of this hot streak. Washington just 3-11 against the spread right now, getting blown out. 7 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone under, but so far this season we've seen some overs from Washington. They're 7-5 to the over as a dog. 7 of the last 10 of Toronto's games have gone under. Let's see what you have in this one with Washington taking on Toronto here. I want to hear from you in the chat. All right, it's going to be Cash Kane said, maybe, just maybe, the Raptors will crush, says Cash Kane. Johnny's got the Warriors plus the points. Robert likes the over in this one. And Toronto says Toronto beat the heck out of will beat the heck out of the Wizards by 2 touchdowns. Raptors could be motivated to win the cup here, something they could hang their hat on they're a hot team. That's all you got to do is get hot a little bit. Here, I'm taking the Raptors to rock here against the Wizards in this one. Rich has the Raptors to cover. Tariq likes the Raptors. Team total over. We're staying in the East at the NBA Cup. It's Brooklyn coming in 2-12. Boston comes in here 8-7. This is from Group B. The Nets are 0-2 right now, and when you get 2 losses in this thing, you're pretty much already toast. The Celtics, meanwhile, are 1-1, but they do have a couple of 2-0 teams ahead of them in Detroit and Orlando, which makes it tough here. But you still have Boston coming in 3-game winning streak right now. Boston with wins here over Brooklyn. They covered the spread. They covered 11.5. They beat the Clippers, but did not cover. And they beat Memphis and crushed them in that one. So Boston, they're starting to get together a little bbit here, and they're obviously a big favorite here against the Nets in this one here tonight. The Nets are 6-8 against the spread this season. Boston is 6-9. ATS got some steam coming in here, I think, right now. Let me see here. On Mississippi State in their tournament game consolation of the Hall of Fame Classic. Mississippi State against New Mexico. Mississippi State was laying 6.5, but the steam's coming in on Mississippi State right now, and they're moving higher in this one against New Mexico at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific consolation game of the Hall of Fame Classic. They are up to 8 here right now. Mississippi State about a 1.5 move with that steam. Okay. We're talking Nets and Celtics here, NBA Cup on Friday night. For Boston here, they've won 4 of their last 5. They have won 12 of their last 17 dating back to last season. Brooklyn, just 5-12. ATS dating back to last season. I mean, overall here, like I said, 6-8 is Brooklyn. They have got the number here in some situations here right now. But let me hear from you guys in the chat with this one with a big spread here. And Brooklyn, they're obviously having a really rugged start to the season right now, but I'm going to go to the chat here as soon as I knock out this steam. It's on that same game, Mississippi State and New Mexico. So, look, Mississippi State just took the steam. Now right behind it, the under's coming in, the steam to the under. It was 153.5. But right now we're seeing this one go lower between Mississippi State and New Mexico. It's down to 150. 50.5. About a 3-point move right here, right now on the Morning Steam Show. All right, I'm ready to go with you guys here, and let's see what you got. I'm going to lay it with Boston here, actually. I'm taking the Celtics here, too. Once heard a man say, smash. Now, this would be a smash to cover 15 points. That's a smash. I'm taking Boston here, minus the points against the Nets.
Final.
All right, here we go. Nets for Bar. Robert's on the over. Cash Kane, he's on the over. Bobby Mack's on the Nets here. And Ready Samedi. Ready Samedi, were you in a news chat room yesterday? I know Ready Samedi is not necessarily a non-original name. It could have been another Ready Samedi. But were you in the agenda-free chat yesterday during the White House, during the White House stuff? All right, here's Greg. Says Boston's like taking candy from a kid. They'll get this number. Celtics haven't shown enough. Nets for Lovable. Celtics team total over for Tariq. Ready Samedi says the Celtics are bleh. Fernando says Nets team total over. And Dave likes the over in this one with the Cavs. All right, I think that's it for that one. Thanks, you guys. Let's keep it going here. One more game in the East of the NBA Cup. And it's the Heat versus the Bulls. This one's from Group C. The Bulls come in here 1-1. The Heat are 1-1. The Bucks lead the group at 2-0. The loser of this team is pretty much going to be eliminated. Steam here right now between Morehead State and East Tennessee. We're seeing this one steam to the under right now with Morehead and ETSU. It was 145.5, but now we're seeing the steam to the under with Morehead and East Tennessee State. This one is down to 144 here right now on a 1.5-point move to the under, Morehead and East Tennessee. Then, just moments ago, we did see some steam consolation game at the Baha Mar Classic. Steam to the under here with Wake and Memphis. It was 159.5, but we're seeing this one get steamed well over here between Wake and Memphis. It got dummied down and now is going over here, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. It's up to 161.5 between Wake Forest and Memphis. All right, Heat and Bulls here. Both teams 1-1 in the NBA Cup. The Bulls are favored by 2.5 here. Bulls come in 8-6. Miami comes in 9-6 right now. Both teams have won 2 straight games coming in. The Bulls with wins over Denver and Portland, although they did not cover at Portland as a road favorite. Miami, meanwhile, wins and covers against the Knicks and the Warriors here to continue their good start to the season here as well. Look at that total, 250 tonight in the NBA Cup. I guess they don't play any defense in the NBA Cup, is what you're telling me.
Major line move.
Miami's covered 5 of their last 7 coming in, but they are just 2-5 against the Bulls in their last 7. They're not great on the road. We've been on them a lot, but really more so at home. The Bulls, meanwhile, are 5-0-1 against the spread at home, although 1-3-1 against the spread as a favorite. Meanwhile, Miami's 6-3-1 as an underdog, but they're 2-5 straight up on the road. Oh, wow, this one's weird. But I'm going to take the Bulls here. They're 6-0, like I said, at 6-0, maybe 5-0-1 against the spread at home. Give me the Bulls here in this one against Miami. I'm going to take Chicago here in this one. I'll get to your picks here in just a moment. Steam coming in right now, college basketball on Northern Illinois. That's almost like the Bulls, kind of. Northern Illinois taking that steam here right now in their matchup with Loyola Chicago. Loyola Chicago was a 14.5-point favorite, but here is the steam coming in on Northern Illinois, and right now Northern Illinois is down here to a 13.5-point dog. So point move there on Northern Illinois. Go in the chat, see what you guys have in the Heat and the Bulls. I'm already on the Bulls, I guess. Here we go. With, let's see. Oh, Dave was on the Raptors under there. Greg had Chicago. Did I get those in there? Justin had the over. Hope I did. Bulls Heat over, said Lovable here. And Giddy, triple double. There's Parma Jake. Miami struggled against the Bulls. Ready Samedi, it sounds like he was Ready Samedi there, maybe in the agenda-free chat there with me. I was watching that yesterday as well. Cash Kane likes the Bulls. Here comes the steam in. Steam is coming in on San Diego right now in their matchup with Riverside. We already mentioned that total moving lower, and here comes the steam on USD tonight at Jenny Craig Pavilion. Dave's favorite place to watch basketball, the JCP. And we're seeing the steam come in here on San Diego. They were a favorite. I'm sorry, they were a 6.5-point favorite, and they're up to 7.5 right now. Steam on USD against Major Riverside. Lineman. All right, toughest game on the board here, says Terrell. And Bam is back. 250. Can you believe it? Bam is back tonight. Andrew Wiggins is out. Kobe White questionable for the Bulls. Jalen Smith probable. Robert likes the Bulls here. Ready Samedi says Bulls wait. Miami to cover. Bulls. I think Bulls win. Miami to cover. I think he's saying there. Yep. Greg is on the over here. Dave's on the Celtics in that game against the Nets. Rich is going over. And I think that's it. All right. Steam coming in here right now. More steam on the game between Evansville and Oregon State. This one's at the Paradise Jam. Hitting up the ballroom there in the Virgin Islands with the over on Evansville and Oregon State. We saw this one at 136. This one's up considerably here between Evansville and Oregon State at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific. This one here right now is now at 138. 139, 3-point move, Evansville and Oregon State. All right, man. Let's go out west for the NBA Cup. We got 4 more to go. Pelicans and Mavs here in this one. The Mavericks are favored. Are they favored by 4? It just says 4 right there.
Steam play.
Steam coming in here on Army right now. Army's taking the steam in their matchup against Marist. Army was a 15.5-point favorite, but they're taking the steam here right now. And Army is down to a make sure I get this one right. 14.5 move here to Army. Also seconds ago. Steam move here, Denver and Colorado State. We're seeing steam here to the under in this one between the Denver Pioneers, Colorado State Rams, Colorado Battle, and the steam's coming in on the under here with it was 151, but we're seeing it go lower here with Denver and Colorado State. And this one now is down to 150 and a half. 150, maybe it's going to 150. It's still moving here. It looks like Denver and Colorado State. All right. I'm talking Pelicans and Mavs at the NBA Cup. This is a matchup from Group B. The Pelicans are 0-2 coming in. Meanwhile, the Mavericks are also 0-2. Both teams 0-2. So this one, it's going to be hard. The Lakers and the Clippers are both 2-0. So I would say this one is doesn't have any bearing on the NBA Cup standings here. I don't think. Pelicans are on a massive losing streak here coming in. Dallas has lost 2 in a row, but they also haven't been faring very well of late, having lost 5 of their last 6. The Pelicans have lost 7 in a row. They've gone 1-12 in their last 13 on the road, dating back to last season. Dallas has gone over in 6 of their 9 meetings with the Pelicans here. But Dallas, the favorite here against New Orleans. And, they haven't been terrific against the spread. They're 1-4 against the spread as a favorite. New Orleans has been doing a little bit of covering here of late, but they've lost 4 of the last 6 to Dallas overall. Let me hear from you in the chat here with this one between New Orleans and Dallas. Like I said, this one not much bearing on the Cup standings. I think that's safe to say here.
Steam play.
Steam coming in right now on Fresno State tonight. Fresno State and their matchup here with New Orleans. Fresno State was a 5-point favorite at home, but the Steam is coming in right now on Fresno State. And Fresno State is up to a 7.5-point favorite here right now at DraftKings. So 2-point move there on Fresno State. Let me hear from you in the chat with New Orleans here. Getting by with my man Borrego at head coach. Hopefully they'll start to get it going here. But I'm starting to see the chat here. Maybe some Pelicans action. Let's see what you got. NYC Bars on the Pelicans. Greg says the Pelicans just beat them a week ago. Wait a minute. I thought we had revenge. Pelicans won at 111-99 as a 7.5-point favorite. Pelicans money line, though, here for Kane. Everyone still loves the Pelicans. Greg says take the Pelicans. Justin's got the over here in this one. Trey Murphy loves playing against the Mavericks. Greg's got the Pelicans winning on the road as a 3-point dog. And Dallas is a favorite here, Greg. Unless I'm missing it. Right now, Dallas is actually up to a 4-point favorite in this one. Pelicans for Rich. Lakers are going to win the Cup. Says Rich. Lovable taking Dallas minus the points. Tariq likes the Pelicans there. Rich says maybe the Knicks could win it as well. Mavericks to take it all in the end. Terrell says Mavs player props. They're inconsistent. All right, I'm taking the Mavericks here to win and cover against the Pelicans. Give me the Mavs. All right, we're going, keeping it out west here at the NBA Cup. Whoops. Doubleheader. Did I really type it in twice? Timberwolves here taking on the Suns at the NBA Cup. This one is in Group A. The Suns are 1-0. The Timberwolves are 2-0, and the Suns are at home and they're getting the points. The Suns are one of the best home spread teams around right now. They come in here 9-6 straight up. Minnesota's 10-5 straight up in this one. Phoenix coming in here off of a win. Last time out, a victory over Portland, 127-110. They've been playing pretty well here of late, have the Suns. Not only that, they're a terrific spread team at home. 7-1 against the spread at home, 8-2 against the spread their last 10 games. Minnesota's just 6-9 against the spread coming into this one. Big game if Phoenix wants to have a chance to win the NBA Cup. Phoenix has gone over in 5 of their last 6 games with the Timberwolves overall. Minnesota, however, has gone under in 5 straight. Minnesota has dominated this series. They've won 8 straight meetings with the Suns, and they've covered 7 of those 8 games. But I'm going to say that the Suns continue to be underrated here, and I'm actually going to try to buck those trends a little bit. I'm going to take the Phoenix Suns at home against Minnesota in this one. But definitely season series does belong to Minnesota here. They really own these guys, but Phoenix, like we said, 7-1 against the spread at home here so far. Let's go to the chat, see what you guys have here in this one. There's Blue, but look, Blue's back to being Daniel. He's on the Suns here. Jordy's on the Suns. And let's see, NYC Bar says over. Greg's got it Minnesota on the road to win there. Tariq likes the Suns. And maybe Rich liking that Dallas revenge instead. Robert McCormick is on the Timberwolves. They own Phoenix, says Greg. Fact. Rich is on the Suns. Justin likes the over here. Blue thinks it's a consensus. And Greg says Minnesota has the advantage. And Terrell says those were different Sun teams, right? They had the guys dragging them down, KD and Beal. These are the new hot team players. The Suns have kind of feels like they're meshing, right? They don't really have that, you got Booker, but they're doing it kind of now. They could be a little bit of a not fluky start, but surprising start. That's a fact. And Dave likes the Timberwolves here, but I'm going to take the Suns in this one. All right. I think you guys got that one out of the way for me. And let's go to the game of the night here. A preview of the Western Conference semifinals or something here with Denver and Houston. Denver's 11-3 coming in. Houston's 10-3. The West is seems like far and away better than the East right now, doesn't it? When you got Denver, Houston, OKC, Lakers right now, and who's doing it for you right now in the East, right? Who do you really like overall? With the young teams that are up and comers and some of the older teams, getting it done. But all right, here's some steam coming in. It's on Detroit and Michigan State. The Titans and the Spartans. There was a time this would have been a game. We're seeing the steam to the over here in this one. It was 150.5. Big time steam coming in here with Oakland and I'm sorry. Let me make sure I get this one right. Just looked at the wrong game there. Steam, though, to the over here, Detroit and Michigan State, it was 149. But we're seeing it go higher here right now in this matchup. And it's all the way up to 152. 3-point move, Detroit. I knew it was a good move. Detroit and Michigan State, 3-point move there. Okay. Nuggets and Rockets here. So 2 hot teams, super hot, especially the Rockets. They're on a massive winning streak here right now, 5 in a row. Denver's won 5 of their last 6 on the road. They've won 8 of their last 9 overall. Denver's covered 6 of their last 8 games. Denver's 13-5 straight up in their last 18 against Houston. Houston's gone over in 6 of their last 7. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. This is only the second time this season Denver will be an underdog. They're 9-5 against the spread overall. Houston's 8-4 against the spread as a favorite here. Good game. This one in Group C. Denver's 1-1. Houston's 1-1. The Spurs are 1-1. The Blazers are 1-1. The Warriors are 1-1. We're just starting over here in Group C now. Denver's officially in first. They have a 23 points differential. Houston has a 13-point differential. This group could come down to some of those funky tiebreakers. So we'll see. But every team is 1-1 in Group C right now. How about that? Let's see what you guys have in the chat. I'll make my call here. This one with Denver and Houston tonight in Houston. What do you guys have? Wow. The game of the night in the NBA Cup. Here we go in the chat. All right, here's a lovable Houston and under. Jokic triple-double for Justin. He's got the over in this one. You know what? I mean, I'm not saying I like every game over tonight, but I might like 6 or 7 of them over. VAR likes Rockets here. Don't they play no defense in the NBA Cup, or is it Friday night excitement? Over in Rockets for Cash Kane. Greg says Houston, here's money. Denver for blue. Houston at home there for Greg. Tariq likes Denver. He thinks it could go overtime tonight. Going to be a good one. Oh, okay. Lovable. Cool. Triple. I like that. Robert's on the Rockets here. Lovable says the last 3 over-unders, 234. Is that what that means? Jordy says Denver money line. Joker triple-double. Robert likes the over. What we need is, what does Greg always say about, is it underdog Friday or is it favorite Friday? And Greg says 125, 110 Thunder. The Thunder will be taking players out of the game. What game is that? Is that tomorrow or? Okay, and Eamon Thompson here for Terrell. I'm taking the Houston Rockets here to win and cover at home against Denver in the NBA Cup. All right. Lovell says this is going to be a big-time intensity in this one. All right. We still got a couple more of the NBA Cup. We just mentioned, so these 2 teams here are both 1-1 right now as well in the NBA Cup in this same group. This is like the group of death here with these teams, right? And the Warriors are favored here by 7.5 against the Trailblazers. Total 237.5. Maybe 238 here right now, maybe just a tick up. Portland comes in here, though, on a 4-game losing streak right now. The Warriors have lost 2 in a row, but look, the Warriors are a team that runs out of gas on the road. I think we know that by now, right? They were on a long road trip. You know how old these guys are, and we're seeing it kind of they just end up running out of gas on that last road trip. Did the Warriors? They remember they won at San Antonio back-to-back games, and then they won at New Orleans. But then when they played Orlando, they went down to defeat. Then they played Miami, and they lost to them. Here's some steam real quick. St. Thomas and Northern Colorado. This one's being played in Portland as part of the Nike event, I believe, up there. And we're seeing steam to the under here with St. Thomas and Northern Colorado. Steam to the under. It was 157.5, but we're seeing some steam to the under in this one with St. Thomas and Northern Colorado. And this one here is down to 156. 1.5 point move there with St. Thomas and Northern Colorado. Okay, we're talking Blazers and Warriors here. Both teams still well alive here in the NBA Cup due to the 1-1 records. Portland comes in here 6-2 as an underdog this season, but Golden State's 5-0 against the spread at home. Portland's 2-6 against the spread on the road. So usually when they're an underdog at home, they're good to go. When they're an underdog on the road, not so much. See what you guys have, though, in this one. Portland's 6-2 to the over as a favorite. Golden State's, on the road, 6-2 to the over on the road is Portland. Meanwhile, Golden State's 7-3 to the over as a favorite. Golden State has defeated Portland in 8 straight games at home, also 9 of the last 10 overall. Portland just won 5-1 ATS in their last 7 games. They've gone over in 4 of their last 5. Golden State's gone over right now in 11 of 17 so far this season. Let's see what you guys have in this one. Can the Warriors get another blowout here? Let's go to the chat. Fridays for the favorites is what Greg says. Wednesday's the underdog. Okay, I got it. Daniel's on the Blazers here. He wants 10 points, though. But Lovable will lay the 7 with the over. Justin likes the Warriors team total over. Daniel's on the over. Justin Warriors minus the points. Bar's on the Warriors as well to lay it. Greg says it's a little revenge situation here. The teams just met back about 3 weeks ago. It was 139 to 119. In fact, they've already played twice this season, right? Let's see if I have that right. Rested Warriors. They mailed it in that last game of that road trip, no doubt. Evansville's taking the steam here in their matchup against Oregon State. We already mentioned the total going over. Now Evansville's taking the steam here against Oregon State. They were an 8.5-point dog, but right now we're seeing Evansville taking the steam at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, and now it's down to 7.5. Evansville taking the steam against Oregon State. Warriors to cover the number here, says Rich. Lovable says probably by double digits here. Robert likes Golden State as well. And it's a consensus there, says Lovable. Portland just beat them. Time for revenge. Fernando says can only trust Portland in the first half. Jordy says Warriors here. And Terrell says Sharp to get 25 plus. But I will say, let's look at the injury situation because Sharp, there's injury news actually to report here just moments ago. And that news that just came in, Big Al. Big Al is probable here. That one just in. Jimmy Butler probable. Curry probable. Jeremy Grant probable for Portland. Sharp is questionable. Holiday questionable. Williams questionable. Blazers have maybe some injuries here actually coming in. All right, hey, I got to make my call here in this one. I'm going to take the Warriors to get it done with you guys. Give me the Warriors to blow out the Blazers here. All right. Greg says this one's a gift. All right, here we go. Thunder and Jazz. Last game here, NBA Cup on Friday night. This one is in Group A. The Jazz are 0-2. The Thunder are 1-0. The Timberwolves are 2-0. Thunder and Suns 1-0. So they played one less game than the Timberwolves so far. Oh, there's the Thunder. Okay, you guys are just ahead of me there. Okay, Thunder on the road, laying 16. We know how hard it's been for the Thunder all of a sudden. They keep failing against the spread because the handicap's just too big. They come in here with a record of 15-1 right now. Utah's 5-9. The Thunder come in here on this massive winning streak again. The win streak currently is 7 games in a row. Utah's lost 8 of their last 11. Utah's gone over in 10 of their last 11 at home. 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone over as well. Oklahoma City's 9-3 against the spread. Their last 12 against Utah, but Oklahoma City just played Charlotte. They were favored by 17. They won. They did not cover. They played New Orleans. They were favored by 18.5. They won. They did not cover. Then they were favored by 18.5 against Sacramento. They won. They did not cover. It's not like they won by 2 or 3 points and like, oh, man, against Charlotte, they still won by 13, couldn't cover 17.5. Against New Orleans, they won by 17, couldn't cover 18.5. And then against Sacramento, they won by 14, they couldn't cover 8. I mean, how many times can you just have to go out there and we have to beat the pants off of somebody just to get the money? It gets pretty tough after a while, especially when you have to do it on the road against a team like the Utah Jazz that's basically 6-1 against the spread at home. They're one of the best spread teams at home so far. And look, they got, Markkanen playing well here right now. Kessler's out, but OKC's 4-5 against the spread on the road. I'm going to take Utah. I mean, the Thunder's not covering the numbers. They're getting there. They're winning. And like we said, winning by margin is important here. You want to get a big score, especially when Minnesota's 2-0 with a plus 54 point differential so far. Let's say Oklahoma City goes out there and wins it by 15, does not cover. There's still only 46 on the point differential. All right. And those two teams will still have to meet as well. One of those teams will win, right? The Thunder, probably. Let's go to the chat, though, and see what you have in this one. Thank you for joining me, you guys. Thunder. Okay, let's see. Cash Kane is on the Jazz. Daniel likes the Thunder. Blue likes the Thunder. Lovell says Thunder will win it by 31. We ramp this one up. Alternate line. Extendo. Justin likes the over. Greg says the Thunder. I mean, not only that, they haven't covered the last 5, he said. Okay. Terrell says AJ Keontae, this Jazz team, right? Blue likes the over. Lovable likes the over. Greg has this one kind of right on the line there, it feels like. Maybe the under, though. We do said, look, they fired the wrong person. Let's see. Thunder, take those players out, right? But remember, Greg, the point differential. Yeah, you got to take him out. You don't want to hurt anybody. You know that. But like I said, one of those tiebreakers, point differential. But also, you only need to get to of course, the thing that the group winners go on, and then you got the top wild card, if you will. Rich is on the Thunder as well. I think that's it. Tariq team total over. Okay, I'm taking the points with Utah, and the basketball segment is over. The NBA basketball. Let's go to the ice tonight. Be careful when you say ice, right? You got to. I mean, who knows? Anybody could anything could happen when you say ice. Okay, Sharp 25 here, coming in with an injury, don't forget. Dylon in the chat. He had some hockey action. Hello to Dylon. Chosen one here is on the Suns tonight. Dylon's here, so let's go to the ice. Blackhawks taking on the Sabres here in this one. You've got the Sabres. $1.90? Has it gone down yet? Now, Ellis is a great guy. He's in goal here, $1.85, 6, maybe 6 over 20 for the most parts of the line. Let me at least update that. That feels like the general line, 6 over 20 more. Uh-oh. Well, Ramon has just accidentally deleted the banner for this game. Oh, we got to have a banner. All right. Blackhawks and I think Soderblom at Sabres and Ellis. Got to type it all over again. Boo. There we go. All right. You got Ellis here. Look at this is a big favorite here. Mikey said, make sure you're doing the 1.5, doing the ones. I don't like the ones on the show, too many ties in a lot of times, but it does make sense. And Mikey says, let's do it. So I'll do it. I know he was talking about in general, making sure you guys don't do it. But if he's kind of pushing it on us a little bit to make sure that we're taking the one there and making sure we get the best price. And there's no doubt when you take a +1 here, you're going to get another chance. So I'll go back to doing some +1s here. I don't want to, I know we want to clog up the airwaves here with 165 with the Blackhawks here, but I'm going to take the Blackhawks. against the Sabres. I mean, if I had to compare these two teams right now, I mean, the Blackhawks are actually doing something. 10-6-4, doing a good job. Buffalo actually 7-9-3, 7-9-4. Let's not talk down about them. You look at those records, right? And we talked about 4 more ties yesterday. This one looks like it could have tie written all over it. So I'm going to take the Blackhawks here plus 1 goal tonight against Buffalo. Give me the Blackhawks here against the Sabres. And I'll take them plus 1 goal tonight. I'll start taking some plus ones here, so don't lay so much. Not giving Mike a hard time, but he was definitely trying to, and I want to make sure that we're getting it across to you guys. He feels like it is a much safer and economical play, I think. Look, when you get a tie in the NHL, like we said, after all, there's only 5, 6, or 7 goals scored. Only so many things can happen. So anyway, you got Chicago here, 5-3 on the road. Buffalo's 2-4 as a favorite this season. 2-4 straight up as a favorite. So why not? I'm going to take Chicago here in this one against Buffalo. Buffalo has won the last 4 meetings in this series. Make no mistake here. But I'm going to go ahead and take Chicago in this one. Right now, Blackhawks, pretty good run, right? Sitting in 3rd place in the Central. Who'd have thunk it? And meanwhile, Buffalo still in last in the Atlantic here. 6-4-2 straight up at home. Give me Chicago in this one. A lot of comments in this one. Here we go. Hawks on the back-to-back. Got to be careful here. They lost that game to Seattle yesterday at home, and now they got to go travel on the road to Buffalo. That certainly has to be of concern. Greg, Capitals 8 goals yesterday, but all the other games go under? Did they all go under except one yesterday, or did one of those other late ones go under over? Okay, how many went over? Kings in San Jose went over, Rangers in Colorado went over, and the Caps and the Washington Capitals went over yesterday, right? So only 3 games went over yesterday. Wow. Lovable going over in this one. Capitals love to pour it on. And Terrell's got the ice jokes going there. All right, Greg had the score for us last night. I didn't hit my 3-2, did I? Blackhawks money line for Tim. Probably should go money line. Why not? AOD is here. Thank you, AOD. Blackhawks puck line for Bar. First period over for Blue. Yeah, that right, Greg? We were right with the cancer on the skates. Okay. Here we go. Greg says 3-2 Chicago. AOD says go Caps. Lovable says we're smoking some crack. I don't know. I think that's what. See always cracking. Oh. Okay. Greg says watch out for those road teams. I don't know what we do is talking about, but I like that. Whatever it is, I like it. Dylon's on the over. Greg says New York 5-0 tonight. We're not even there yet, are we? All right, here we go. Let's move on. The Wild are on the road at the Penguins. Wild come in 10-7-4. Penguins 10-5-4, but the Wild have won 3 straight. Wild with wins at home against Anaheim, against BGK, against Carolina. They're playing pretty well right now, for sure. But they're going in and taking on the Penguins here. Penguins off of a 4-0 win over Nashville in revenge at home. Minnesota just 3-4 on the road, but Pittsburgh here 5-2 at home so far. Here's a little bit of steam real quick, some basketball steam. Got to interrupt with Hampton and Norfolk State. Seeing some steam here to the under in this one at 133 with Hampton and Norfolk. And right now we're seeing that steam come in, changing this line, going lower here right now. Hampton and Norfolk at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific time. And currently it is 132.5. So just a slight, it was higher. It was as high as 134. And in fact, it was as high as 135. And we're seeing the steam. This one's the one you can probably get in on still here, it looks like, at 132.5. Showing some books trailing here, a little slow on this one. All right, Wild and Pens here. With the Wild coming in on the road with Silovs going for the Penguins and Gustafson here for the Wild. Sorry about that, gang. Just 4 games tonight here on the ice. I'm showing the Penguins here currently at $1.30. The total is 6. Is it 6 flat? Maybe it's 6 under 20 here right now. 6 under 15. 6 under 15. Okay. For Minnesota here, it's Wallstedt, by the way. Or no, I think it's going to be Wallstedt. And so, I'm not sure. For Silovs, though, here, 4-2-4. You guys have been better on the goalies than me of late, and I'm usually pretty good. But 2.44 goals against, 92% save percentage here for Arturs Silovs. For the Wild here in this one, they've actually lost they've lost 11 of the last 14 games on the road at Pittsburgh. Minnesota's gone under in 4 of their last 5. Pittsburgh's gone under in 4 of their last 5. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. I'm going to go under in this one with Pittsburgh and Minnesota. Give me the under 6 in this one. Some steam coming in here on Radford just moments ago in their matchup with Wilmington. We already said the steam came in on the over, right? But now Wilmington was a 5-point favorite, but the steam came in on Radford. And now this one is moving lower here with that steam coming in on Radford.
Urgent message. Right
now it is NC Wilmington on the road, currently favored in this one by 3.5, maybe as much as a 1.5 point move on Radford here. All right, we're looking at your plays in this one with Minnesota and Pittsburgh. Here is Greg says Pittsburgh. Justin's on Pittsburgh. Reddy Samedi says need more copy. Blue says Pittsburgh, but I'm scared. Robert has Pittsburgh. It's a lot of Pittsburgh. Everybody's on Pittsburgh. All right. Greg says Rangers yesterday 5-0. He called it. Blue says under. And yeah, Dylon says he says that yesterday Wallstedt played and maybe he'll be back to Gus tonight. Tim says Pittsburgh. And Dylon is on the under here. Action Jackson says Radford in that basketball game. And Greg says Radford's terrible. And here's SF Niner firing it up with some tennis finally. Man, I can't stand to have a couple of days off. Although you guys try to give me that challenger action. Just too much college basketball. Couple more games here on the ice tonight. How about the Canes on the road taking on the Jets? The Canes come in 13-5-2. The Jets are 12-7. Not as much of a chance for them to go OT, huh? The Jets have won 2 straight here right now with wins over Calgary and Columbus. They beat Columbus handily 5-2. And look, not a bad record for sure. They're, however, 0-2. This is only the 3rd time that Winnipeg's been an underdog this season. They've lost the other 2 times. But Carolina here is 6-2-2 in their last 10, and they're also 7-3 their last 10 on the road, 12-5 straight up as a favorite. Carolina's gone over in 8 of their last 10, but they've gone under in 7 of their last 11 on the road. They've also gone over in 11 of their last 17 as a favorite here. The Jets, meanwhile, are 11-8 to the over this season. Let's see how you guys have this one with the Canes taking on Winnipeg. Winnipeg's won 4 of their last 5 at home. They've won 12 of their last 18, dating back to last season right now. Carolina just 2-4 in their last 6 games against Winnipeg. Carolina's gone over in 6 of their last 8. Winnipeg's gone over in 4 of their last 5. They've also gone over in 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams, but Carolina's gone under in 11 of their last 16 games on the road. I've confused myself in this one. But I'll make my call here, and let me see what you guys have first. I'll go to the chat. All right. Jets team total under for blue. Justin likes the Hurricanes here. And Greg says 4-3 Canes. And Jets cannot fly. Carolina here on the deductive reasoning by Lovable. Timothy's on the Hurricanes. Robert's on the Canes. A lot of Canes action here. Greg says when you lay in 1, just take the money. When lay in 1.5, just take the money line. All right, I'm taking the total in this one. I'm going over here with Carolina and the Jets tonight. Give me the over in this one. One more on the ice. Oh, Tariq was on the Hurricanes. One more on the ice here tonight. The Bruins are on the road taking on the Kings. The Kings are $1.90 here. Total 5.5. Both teams have lost 2 in a row here right now. But man, the Kings $1.90 against this Boston team that's been playing pretty well this season. Boston's 12-10 straight up right now. The Kings are 10-6-5, but the Kings are one of those teams that are struggling at home. They're just 1-4-1 at home so far. Kings, what's going on? No, that is only 5 games, so they played a lot of road games this year, and they're 9-2-2 on the road. Oh, the Kings are 1-4-2 at home now. So they played 7 home games and 13 on the road, and you're already off to a pretty good start. That bodes well for the Kings, big picture, I think. So what do you have in this one with Boston? I'll take Boston, though, plus a goal in this one. Boston's 15-4 as a puck line underdog, and the Kings are just 3-9 as a puck line favorite. So I'll take him at +1. We're going to go back to the +1 game, and I'll take Boston here in this one against the Kings. See what you guys have in the chat here. Bruins money line for blue. Bruins for Dylon. Boston in overtime for Lovable. Greg says the Kings win it. Still kind of want to take 1.5 in this one, but we'll see what happens. We got to take the Bruins at this price, right? I will say this. The teams that are kind of shockingly favored of the last 2 nights have usually got it done on the puck line, it feels like. So I'm going to take the Bruins here, and that's a look at hockey. Let's go to the college basketball. Look, we've already given you, hopefully, a lot of good information with the Steam. And again, it's up to you guys. You're always going to be in and up chasing points. That is a recipe for disaster, but you're also getting probably the sharper plays. We've been updating the Steam all week here and all season, right? Talking about that overall record of the Steam. Well, yesterday wasn't a perfect day for sure for the Steam, but so far this week, it is here 113-87. All right, let's go to the college basketball. I have about 7 or 8 games. Robert was on the under there in that last game. Here we go. We'll start with this one at. I know there's some other earlier games, you guys, too, but I think there's enough big games. I don't want to go over some of the lesser matchups anyway. Here's Eastern Michigan taking Steam, though, against Oakland. They were a 3-point dog, was Eastern Michigan. Steam coming in right now on Eastern Michigan, and we're seeing Eastern Michigan here move to +1. 2-point move there on Eastern Michigan against Oakland. Okay, here we go. So we're looking at probably just some of the better matchups. I know there are some early matchups. In fact, the first one getting underway here shortly with Wisconsin, Green Bay, and Yale in about 90 minutes kicks off the card. Also, Utah State and Tulane in early action. There's a whole early card. This one, too. This one's at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time with Butler taking on South Carolina. And Butler is the favorite here in this one. This one is being played, however, at West Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. So probably a little bit of a neutral site. Maybe South Carolina's got a little bit of edge here with the venue, but South Carolina comes in 4-0 right now. Butler comes in 3-1. South Carolina is just 2-2 ATS. Meanwhile, Butler, they're 4-0 ATS so far. And Butler is favored, though, by 2.5 here in this one. So a little bit tricky here. You still have the Butler Bulldogs here favored over South Carolina. Like we said, neutral site venue here does make things a little bit interesting at this point. South Carolina with wins over Radford, Presby, USM, and A&T. They did not cover against A&T or USM, but have covered the last two. Butler, meanwhile, is coming in off of a loss to SMU. They were a 7.5-point dog, though, and got the money. That's why they are 4-0 here against the spread. Butler is pretty good here, and I actually kind of want to take them in this matchup. South Carolina here. Yeah. I'm going to give me Butler in this one. I'm not going to go any further here. I want to hear from you in the chat. Give me the Butler Bulldogs against South Carolina in this one. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 2.5 points here. All right. Let's see. The line, Greg says, if the line's 5.5, always take the 1. Oh, he's talking hockey there. Thank you. Butler for Robert. And he's on the under. Tariq is on South Carolina. Greg has it right on the line here pretty much. And that's it for that one, I think. We'll keep on moving here. Next up, you said Wisconsin. I'll say Wisconsin. Wisconsin's taking on BYU in this one. And we've already seen some of that steam come in there on Wisconsin, right? Well, it also came in overnight on the over. I'm on the over here. It's up to 164.5. So pretty big number, but I'm taking the over in this one with Wisconsin and BYU. Wisconsin comes in here 4-0. They're ranked 23rd in the country. BYU's 3-1. They're ranked 9th currently in the country. BYU with wins over Delaware, Holy Cross, and Villanova, but they only covered against Holy Cross as a 35.5-point favorite. Meanwhile, they lost, remember, to Connecticut 86-84, but got the money as a 6.5-point dog. Meanwhile, Wisconsin's won them all, but they're 2-2. They failed against Northern Illinois. They failed against Edwardsville. They covered against Campbell, and they covered against Ball. BYU's 0-2 so far as a favorite here. I'm going over in this one, though, with Wisconsin and BYU. Wisconsin's 3-1 to the over. BYU's 1-3 to the under. But I'm going to go ahead and go over here. You know, these two teams met last year in the postseason, and BYU won it 91-89 for 180 points in that one, and BYU got the money, winning the game by 2 as a 1.5-point dog. Give me the over in this one. And let's see here. On Wisconsin. Okay. Justin's on Wisconsin. Here is Greg's got it right on there. Bobby Mack likes the Badgers. Tariq likes the Badgers here. Lovable's on BYU. Robert's on the over, and Terrell says that total went up big time. He says it was as low as 158.5. Wow, you're right, man. That's pretty square there by me. That's for sure. Next up, we've got Northwestern taking on Virginia. This one's being played at White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, after the Butler game here with Northwestern. Remember, they took the steam. We talked about it a short time ago. They took the steam in this game against Virginia. Northwestern comes in here 4-0. Virginia comes in here 4-0 right now. Northwestern, however, is 2-2 against the spread, 0-1 against the spread away from home. This is kind of a neutral site game. Maybe Virginia has a slight advantage here with it being played in West Virginia. But Virginia, meanwhile, is 3-1 against the spread overall, 3-0 against the spread as a favorite. Well, Virginia, of course, they're the monster under team. They are 1-3 to the under. Some of their games can be really slow. Northwestern's 1-0 to the over away from home, but I'm going under here in this one at 145 for sure. And in fact, it's up to 146. I'm still going under. Yeah, Virginia played over last game against Marshall. They actually scored 104 points, but they've held Hampton to 53. They held NC Central to 62, and they held Rider to 53. I'm going under here with Northwestern and Virginia on Friday night. See if you guys have anything here under for Lovable, over for Blue. Next up is Louisville taking on Cincinnati. This one's being played in Cincinnati, but not on their home campus. It's being played in the bigger arena here with Louisville in town. So should be a good atmosphere. You've got Louisville coming in here 4-0. Cincinnati's 4-0. A lot of great games on Friday night. Louisville comes in here with a spread record of 2-2. Cincinnati's 2-2. But Louisville is 1-0 as a favorite. They were underdogs in some of these games this season against they were favored against UK, yeah. But they were against Ohio, they didn't cover a big number. Cincinnati here, meanwhile, beat Mount St. Mary's 72-55, did not cover. Covered against Dayton, didn't cover against Georgia State, and covered against Western Carolina. Meanwhile, Cincinnati's 1-3 to the under, but Louisville's 3-1 to the over, and they are 1-0 to the over as a favorite here. I think I'm going to go over in this one with Louisville and Cincinnati here at the Heritage Bank Center on Friday. Give me the over in this one between Louisville and Cincinnati here. I'm going to go over. Louisville, like I said, over in 3 of 4. 7 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams have gone under, and it's a big number, no doubt about it, at 163. But I'm going to go over here with Louisville and Cincinnati in a big one, big number tonight. All right, let's see here. And Blue says... sharp around the corner. Blues on the over. Robert Dixon, hello. He likes Virginia. And there's Bobby Mack liking the Cavs as well. Tariq says can't bet Virginia. Justin's on the Bearcats. Also, he's on the under. Robert likes Louisville. Greg says, I think that's Cincinnati, but that's an over for sure for Greg. Keep it moving right now, and we're going to go to some of the tournament action here. This is at the Charleston Classic at 6:30 Eastern and 3:30 Pacific with West Virginia taking on Clemson. In this one, you've got Clemson, a favorite here. This one's in Charleston, South Carolina. So maybe Clemson has a little bit of a home court. Clemson, 3.5. 132.5. Oh, this one's gone down. Oh, man. Well, I'm on the under, but Boy, it's gone down here a little bit for sure. I've got the under here with West Virginia. Steam came in on the under here in this one. Now that I see it, I don't know how I missed that. West Virginia comes in 5-0. Clemson comes in here 4-1 right now. Clemson did win last time out over North Alabama. Didn't cover 25.5. They also lost to Georgetown. They have wins over Moorhead, but they did not cover that one either. They did cover against New Hampshire, but and covered against Gardner-Webb. Meanwhile, for West Virginia, they failed to cover last time out against Lafayette as a 23.5-point favorite. They did cover against Lehigh. They did cover in that massacre of Pitt. And hey, good game here. These two teams combined 9-1 right now. Let's see what you guys have here in this one with West Virginia and Clemson. I'm already on the under, so I can't change my mind. Louisville won't cover that, but they should win. Roberts on West Virginia. Barr is on the under here with me. I'll take the under in this one. Greg likes, it's got the right on the number there. That's an over. Greg likes an over for sure. All right, championship game, Baha Mar Classic. After yesterday, Texas Tech ended up winning by 1. Purdue had to overcome a scare from Memphis. They did win kind of pulling away there, but still, nonetheless, it was a good game there for Purdue to at least get the win. They didn't cover 15, no problem. That's a pretty big number, pretty big favorite, but see what you guys have here in this one with Texas Tech. Taking on Purdue, championship game here. Purdue's 5-0. Tech is 4-1. Coming into this one, you've got a Purdue team that is 1-0 away from home against the spread, but these two teams are combined 2-8 against the spread overall this season. Neither of them have been any great shakes here so far, but still you have Purdue favored here by 4 right now, and that total sitting at 156 coming into this one. Texas Tech has gone over in 3 of 5, but they are 0-1 to the under as a dog. However, Purdue is 2-1 to the over as a favorite here. So, championship game of this tournament seems like a pretty good game with these good records here in this one. All right, can't stall forever here, but I'll wait for you guys maybe to give you another second or two to make the play here in this one with Texas Tech and Purdue. This one, again, in the Bahamas. All right, let me make my call. Let me hear from you guys in the chat. I'm going to wait on this one. I want to see here. Purdue for lovable. Ready Samedi on Purdue. Greg says only if they're at home. No, this one's in the Bahamas. Robert's on the under. Justin likes Texas Tech here.
Halftime.
Robert likes Texas Tech as well. Greg says take the under. These teams are going to be tired. I'm tired. I know that. Okay, I'll make my call here in this one between Texas Tech and Purdue here. I'm going to go over here. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to go. I came in here without a game plan in this one. Gang. Give me the over in this one with Texas Tech and Purdue. I'm going over. Purdue by double digits, says Terrell. Here we go. Another one here. Georgia and Xavier. This one, the championship game at the Charleston Classic. I think this one probably should have been above the other game in terms of time frame, but you do have Georgia coming in here 6-0. Xavier's 3-2. Georgia, one of the first 6-0 teams in the land. Xavier 1-4 against the spread. Georgia 3-2 ATS so far. Georgia's 3-1 to the over as a favorite. I got the wrong favorite up there, guys. I know that. It's on the wrong team there, if you will. There we go.
Goalies.
There we go. Sorry about that. Georgia 3-1 against the spread as a favorite. Xavier's 1-0. Georgia's 3-1 to the over as a favorite. Xavier's 1-0 to the over as an underdog here in this one. I'm going to go to the over again with Georgia and Xavier here. Give me the over at 165 in this one between Georgia and Xavier. I know Xavier's 1-4 ATS, but man, I got to think that they can compete here in this one. They've been having trouble here covering, though, that's for sure. All right, here we go. Thank you, Blue. Take care. Have a great day. Spread should be bigger. Go under. Justin says go, Georgia, but no bet. One more here. Game. This is it. In this one, this is a championship game of the Hall of Fame Classic. By the way, the Georgia Xavier wasn't a championship game. The tournament against West Virginia Clemson, Georgia Xavier. Just got a little confused there. This one's a championship game. Kansas State and Nebraska. Nebraska's favored here by 1. And the total here in this one is 175. Wow, is that right? 175? I know it's gone much lower, you guys. It's 168.5 if you can stand it. I already said I'm on the under, right? And I guess I'm stuck. I got it at 169.5 right here on the show, and I've got the under. Nothing I can do. I've already said I'm on the under here. You have two teams both coming in 5-0 right now, riding pretty good. But it's Nebraska that's 4-1 against the spread so far. 4-0 against the spread as a favorite. Kansas State's 1-0 against the spread as a dog, but they are 2-3 against the spread overall. I've got the under here in this one. Let's hear from you guys. And Robert's on the under here as well. Give you guys another chance, but I'm going to get ready to run the contest. The show is over. Thank you for joining me here on the morning steam and spending 2 hours with me talking sports and sports betting. Let's get ready to run the contest. Don't forget, head on over to winnable.com/Ramon. You can click this QR code right here, and it'll take you right to my Winnable page. How easy is that? Just put your phone up right against that thing and click on it. Doesn't cost you anything. It'll take you right to my Winnable page. How's that for convenience? I might be a little bit challenged, but I gave Mikey he made me the overlay, but I told him what to do. Anyway, it'll take you right on over to winnable.com/Ramon, and you can look at my plays right there. Don't look at yesterday's plays there. I did have a winner with trying to find, did I have a winner? As Carl Lewis once said after botching the national anthem, I'll make up for it. All right, remember Terrell knows what I'm talking about. All right, go on over there and take a look at the Winnable page. It looks just like this when you get over there, and you can subscribe here by Apple Pay, Google Pay. Again, it's just I say $3 a day there, but really it's 40 cents if you get 1 month worth, and the Apple Pay works just fine. A couple more plays there from you guys on the end of the show there, right? Let me see. Detroit there for Michigan State. Thank you to Justin. Good to see you. There's Lovable. Greg likes Nebraska by 2. All right, use that promo code STEAM, and let's hear from Mikey Money from talking about our Winnable accounts. Myself, Mikey, Jeff, and Sean.
Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Okay, we're going to do the drawing here right now, and let's put on the right screen here, and then we'll get on out of here for tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Mikey's got pre-gaming tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 Pacific. And don't forget, our fighter tonight goes in the LFA. He's a plus 250 favorite. We're betting him. Here we go. Everyone's in there. 34 commenters today. It's so hard now with these goofy names, right? Stop Gio, Fernando, Terrell, AOD, Greg, BJ, and Action Jackson has won again. Oh my gosh, Action Jackson owns this. It's rigged, but that's a good thing for Action Jackson. I'll put another month on Action Jackson's subscription. There were 34 of you entered in there. Thank you, Action Jackson, and thank you to everybody here. We'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate it. That's going to do it. Don't forget, you can get the previews here. Go to BB MMA Picks underneath the live tab. We previewed 3 fights for the action on Saturday. Remember, the action starts here on the sport. There's pretty much no morning steam tomorrow. I'll come on a little bit early and we'll go over some games, but we're going to be on all day. The games are going on. We'll talk about the games during the show. I'm going to miss part of the show. I got a commitment on another college basketball show, so I'm going to miss a half an hour with the guys. But we're going to go right into the UFC at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. And you can get the previews of Winnable with the VB MMA Picks. We went over that main event. Arman Sarukian, Dan Hooker, lightweights, going to be getting it on here. First time in Qatar that the fight, that the UFC will be there. And also you can check out First Strike as well. Check out First Strike today. So head on over there and check out the previews for the UFC. That's going to do it for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long. See you tomorrow.
It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.